my grandpa was very ill. We left for a month, and when we came back, my mom sent the payment to the bank. And because when we were a month late, the bank sent the payment back and said, we're not your bank anymore. So-and-so is your new bank. So my mom tried to send the payment to that bank, and they returned the payment saying, no, it's not 1 month's payment, it's 2 months payment. So my mom sent 2 months payment. They said, no, it's not 2 months anymore, it's 3 months. And they wouldn't take those payments from her. And she said, just take these 2 payments and I'll pay you the month that I didn't pay you every month. I'll give you $500 to $600, also including the month's payment. But please take this payment so I'm not so behind. And the bank wouldn't take that. They wouldn't negotiate anything with her. They told her either give us the 3 months payments or nothing. And of course that was too much for my mom and our family. And then after that, they told her, okay, we're gonna start the foreclosure process. That's when my mom started looking for other outcomes, like people who try and help us, lawyers, people that told her, yeah, we'll get you a loan modification, no worries, we'll do all the paperwork. A lot of lawyers that took our case never actually showed up to court, and those are the papers that George was talking about. All these lawyers, we have all these court cases, and it says no show, no show. Nobody ever showed up to save our house. And they took, after we added up all the money my mom had paid to all these people over a 4-year period, it was $40,000, which really surprised us as a family, because my mom always hid all this from us, try to protect us and not, I guess, make us suffer by putting all this on us. She always took it upon herself. It wasn't until Monday, the Monday before Labor Day, that the sheriff showed up and gave us the eviction notice that my family found out about the eviction. We had no idea. And even at that, when we got the eviction notice, my mom was like, don't worry, the lawyer says everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be fine. By that time was when I was really concerned and afraid for the welfare of my family, because I have heard when the sheriff comes, you know, there's no going back from there. The court has said his ruling and that's it. And that Sunday we went out to look for Occupy LA. We had heard through the news media of Occupy LA, and when we went down to LA to a little Denny's where they get together, and they actually helped us. They looked through our paperwork, they saw all the fraud, and they just did a really good job of making us feel there's nothing that you did wrong, it's the bank. You know, really opening our eyes to what the issue was. And until now, I had no idea this was even happening to homeowners, you know, me not being a homeowner myself. And now it's really opening my eyes to see that the need for this community to come together. And I'm not ashamed or embarrassed that our family has to be the face of this foreclosure movement. I'm actually very glad and very happy that, you know, we have a voice, we are strong. And together, like George says, we can fight all this fraud, all this foreclosure stuff that I really don't know about, that I'm trying to inform myself of. But we really need the people to come together to have a voice, to say, hey, this is happening to me too. Hey, so this is happening to my cousin, my friend, my aunt, whoever it's happening to. We need to come together and say, this is unfair, this is unjust. You know, I really felt like David and Goliath, you know, fighting the bank. When did I think that that could ever happen? But now that I see more and more people coming out from underneath the water, I don't know where these people are coming from. I had no idea. None of my friends told me, oh, my family's losing our house. Until I said, hey, my family's losing our house. And they're like, oh, well, us too. And so-and-so's going through the same thing too. So I really want to encourage you guys to try and get these people behind us so that we can move together as one, to show the banks that we are not afraid, that we're not just going to sit here and take it. That this is unfair, and we're going to do everything in our power to try to make it just, and we're not going to move out of our house. And we're going to stay there as long as we possibly can, without anybody getting arrested. Please, nobody get arrested. That is our #1 goal. Nobody get arrested, please.
But if you're willing, that's okay too.
But if you're willing,
that's okay too.
More power to you. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm really staying positive, because at first I was distraught. I was so hurt by the situation. When I showed up at Occupy LA in LA like 2 weeks ago, I I just couldn't stop hurting and crying because I was so emotionally hurt by the situation, which is another thing that I feel families are traumatized now by this. Are we going to lose our house? You know, it's not just one person, the homeowner against the bank. It's a whole family. It's a whole community. Like I was telling Patty, one of our live reporter, I was telling her, this isn't just affecting, you know, our home and where we live in. It's really affecting me and my family. I see us emotionally and mentally, you know, being afraid that is the sheriff going to show up tomorrow? Are we going to have a place to live tomorrow? You know, that's really hurtful for kids. And there's a lot of kids in my family. And I know that in other people's houses, there's a lot of kids. And the fact that banks are putting these kids through this is just the worst thing for me, because I work with kids. And kids are so valuable to me. And I could never imagine that someone, through money, can put these kids down, their motivation, their future. It just boggles my mind, the fact that I was so blind and I couldn't see this before. And now that this is coming forward, I don't just see people losing their houses. It's more than that. It's losing a whole future for these kids, for myself, for homeowners. It's just like an avalanche of issues that's coming down because the bank doesn't want to help us, because the bank doesn't care. They don't want to negotiate with us. And it's really hurtful. And hopefully with the community support, with Orange County Occupy behind us, you know, everybody who comes together and decides, hey, we're not going to take it anymore, that these issues can be solved. And not just for my family, but for the whole community. That's it. Thank you.